ॐ नमः शिवाय शिवजी सदा सहाय। ॐ नमः शिवाय गुरुजी सदा सहाय। Jai Guruji. So today we are going to listen to chapter 2 of Vidveshwar Samhita, and in this chapter we are going to listen to the answers that Sutji gave in order to clarify the doubts of sages. Sutji said, O saintly men, the question that you put me is very pertinent. Prompted by my love towards you, and I shall, remembering my preceptor, the benefactor of the three worlds, tell you everything. All of you listen attentively. The entire essence of Vedanta is contained in the excellent Shiva Puran. It dispels all the sins. It affords attainment of highest truth, that is, Brahma hereafter. O Brahmins, the great story of Lord Shiva that destroys the sins of Kali Yuga unfolds itself in the Puran and yields the fruits of four varieties, and these varieties are Dharma, Arth, Kam, and Moksha. By the single-minded study of that most excellent Shiva Puran, excellent Brahmins will attain salvation. It is only as long as Shiv Puran has not risen high in the world that Brahmahatya, that is the sin of slaying a Brahmin, and other sins will display themselves. It is only as long as Shiv Puran has not risen high in the world that the evil portents of Kali Yuga fearlessly roam about. It is only as long as Shiv Puran has not risen high in the world that the different sacred texts will clash together in disputation. It is difficult even to great men to comprehend Shiva's features as long as Shiv Puran has not risen high in the world. The cruel attendants of Yam roam about fearlessly as long as Shiv Puran has not risen high in the world. All the other Purans roar loudly on the earth as long as Shiv Puran has not risen high in the world. All the holy centers enter into mutual wrangles and disputes on the earth as long as Shiv Puran has not risen high in the world. All the mantra rejoice in mutual disputes as long as Shiv Puran has not risen in the world. Also, all the sectors of pilgrimage will engage themselves in mutual disputes. All the altars and pedestals engage themselves in mutual disputes. Further, the gifts engage themselves in disputes. Besides, all those gods engage themselves in mutual disputes as long as Shiv Puran has not risen high in the world. All the philosophical tenets engage themselves in mutual disputes. Further, O foremost among Brahminical sages, I cannot adequately describe the fruit accruing from reciting and listening to these Shiv Puran. Even then, O sinless ones, I shall succinctly describe its greatness as narrated to me by Vyasji. Please listen to this attentively. He who reads a single stanza or even half of it piously becomes free from sins instantaneously. He who reads every day as much of Shiv Puran as he can with devotion and alertness is called Jiva Mukt, that is, a living liberated soul. He who continues to worship this Shiv Puran daily derives the fruit of horse sacrifice undoubtedly. He who, with a craving for an ordinary position in life, listens to Shiv Puran, even from a person other than me, is freed from sin. He who bows near this Shiv Puran derives undoubtedly the fruit of adoration of all the gods. Please listen to meritorious benefit that accrues to the man who copies Shiv Puran and gives the manuscript to the devotees of Shiva. He will have the benefit, very difficult to attain in the world, as that of the study of Shastras and of commenting on the Vedas. He who observes fasts on Chaturdash and conducts discourses and comments on the Shiv Puran in the assembly of devotees of Shiva is the most excellent of all. He shall derive the benefit of the repetition of Gayatri syllable by syllable. He will enjoy all worldly pleasures here and attain salvation hereafter. I shall tell you the benefit derived by him who reads or listens to this after observing fast on Chaturdashi day by keeping awake in the night. This is the truth, undoubtedly the truth, that he will get the benefit derived by the man who makes gifts of wealth equal in weight to himself to Brahmins with Vyasji at their head at the complete eclipse of the sun, many a time in all holy centers, Kurukshetra, etc. Indra and other devas wait eagerly for the directives of men who chants day and night the verses of Shiva Puran. The sacred rites performed by the man who regularly reads or listens to Shiv Puran are effective millions of times more than usual. He who reads Rudra Samhita portion of Shiv Puran with pure and concentrated mind become a purified soul within 3 days, even though he might have killed a Brahmin. He who reads the Rudra Samhita 3 times a day near the image of Bhairav, refraining from useless talks, shall get all cherished desired desires fulfilled. If a slayer of Brahmin who circumambulates the tree of Vat and Bilva, reciting the verses from Rudra Samhita, he will become purified of the sin of Brahmin slaughter. The Kailash Samhita is even greater than that. It is of Vedic statute and stature. The meaning of Pranav, which means the sacred syllable Om, is amplified in it. O Brahmins, Lord Shiva knows the greatness of Kailash Samhita in its entirety. Vyasji knows half of it, and I a moiety of the same. A part of it I shall tell you, since it is impossible to say everything. On comprehending it, people attain purity of their mind instantaneously. O Brahmins, seeking for it ever and ever, I do not see a sin that cannot be quelled by Rudra Samhita. Drinking that nectar prepared by Lord Shiva after churning the ocean of Upanishad, which is a class of Vedic literature, and handed over to Kumar, that is Lord Kartikeyaji, the devotee shall become immortal. Let me say this again. Drinking that nectar prepared by Lord Shiva after churning the ocean of Upanishads, a class of Vedic literature, and handed over to Kumar, that is Lord Kartikeyaji, the devotee shall become immortal. So Shiv Puran is actually a nectar which has been prepared by Lord Shiva himself. The person intending to perform expiatory rites for the sins of Brahmahatya should read the Samhita for a month. He shall be freed of that sin. By a single recital, that Samhita destroys the sins originating from the acceptance of monetary gifts from defiled persons, partaking of defiled food, and indulging in foul talks. The benefit derived by a person who reads the Samhita in the grove of Bilva trees in a temple of Shiva is beyond description in words. If a person reads Samhita with great devotion, at the time of performing Shraddha and feeding the Brahmins, all his pitras attain great region of Lord Shiva. The devotee who observes fast on Chaturdashi day and reads that Samhita under the Bilva tree is directly identified with Shiva and is worshipped by the gods. The other Samhitas are no doubt the bestowers of the benefit of fulfilling all cherished desires. These two Samhitas are particularly excellent as they are full of divine sports and divine knowledge. Such is Shiv Puran extolled on par with the Vedas created by Lord Shiva himself at first and commensurate with the Supreme Brahma. Originally, Shiv Puran was of very enormous size consisting of 12 sacred Samhitas. And here are those 12 names. Vidveshwara, Rudra, Vinayak, Omika, Matri, Rudraktasa, Kailash, Satrudraka, Sahasra Koti Rudra, Vyavai, and Dharma Samhita. O Brahmins, I shall mention the number of verses in those Samhitas. Please listen with due attention. The first Samhita of Vidveshwara, it consists of 10,000 verses. The Rudra, Vinayak, Omik, and Matra Samhita consists of 8,000 verses each. O Brahmins, the Rudraksida Samhita consists of 13,000 verses, the Kailash Samhita of 6,000 verses, and Satrudra of 3,000 verses. The Koti Rudra Samhita consists of 9,000 verses, the Sahasra Koti Rudra Samhita of 11,000 verses. The Vyavai Samhita consisted of 4,000 verses and Dharma Samhita of 12,000 verses. Thus, the whole Shiv Puran contained 100,000 verses, that is 1 lakh verses. That has been condensed by Rishi Vyasji to 24,000 verses, that is about a fourth of the original Puran, and he retained 7 Samhitas. The Puranic lore at the time of first creation, as conceived by Lord Shiva, contained 1,000 million, that is 100 crore verses. Of these, Shiv Puran contains 24,000 verses with 7 Samhitas, and Puran is on par with Vedas in terms of excellence. So, in the beginning of Dwapar age, the condensed form, which was into 4,000 verses, which is in the beginning of Dwapar age, was separated into 18,000 Purans. The first Samhita is called Vidveshwara, the second Rudra, the third Satrudra, and fourth Koti Rudra. The fifth is Om, the sixth Kailash, and seventh Vyavai. These are 7 Samhitas. Thus, the divine Shiv Puran with its 7 Samhitas stand on par with the Vedas, according salvation more than anything else. He who reads this Shiv Puran complete with 7 Samhitas devotedly he is a being that is a liberated soul. So he is a living liberated soul. Hundreds of other sacred texts as the Vedas, Smritis, Purans, Itihas and Agmas do not merit even a 16th of the Shiv Puran. Shiv Puran it is first expounded by Shiva and then condensed by Vyasji, who is a devotee of Lord Shiva. It is pure and brief, as such it renders help to all living beings. As a queller of threefold calamities, that is physical, extraneous and divine, it is unrivaled. It bestows welfare upon the good. Undeceptive virtue is extolled herein. It is in the main of the nature of Vedantic wisdom. It contains mantras and 3 aims of life, and the thing knowable by wise men of unprejudiced mind. The Shiv Puran is the best among Purans, extolling the great being that glows in Vedanta and the Vedas. He who reads and listens to it with devotion becomes favorite of Shiv and attains the supreme position here and hereafter. Jai Guruji.